Defensively, we are still not where we need to be, and probably the most disappointing thing is the run defense. So one of two things has happened. Either complacency has set in, which I mentioned before, or our offensive line's moving people better. Because a lot of the same defensive players are out there, obviously with the exception of Trenton and Roquan. But it's hard to tell when you're not tackling live, but they're certainly moving us more than I'm accustomed to. So we'll find out in the scrimmage. We're advancing along some in the passing game and trying to use some different formations. I really thought the kids competed hard. We did some 2-minute situations today. But overall, we're not where we need to be on defense. But we got some young players on offense starting to play better. Well, if you have questions there, man.
When you talk about implementing different stuff in the passing game, you talking about different stuff than what y'all did last year, adding stuff, or just kind of what you
Well, yeah, I think it's things that Jacob can handle now and being able to do a little more things. Being able to open things up to run the ball as well as throw the ball. Give him some options to check into and out of things. And I think that always helps when you get a certain look. When you like that look to run a certain play in. If a guy can get you in the right play, that helps. And he's more comfortable doing that now than he was at the end of the year last year.
I was going to ask just maybe a better question. Perhaps there's scrimmage, there's some aspects of Jacob's game you can already see or improve from this point, this time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, last year.
He's got a long way to go, but he's come a long way because he understands the protection now, which last year, there's times that he did, times that he didn't, and there's a lot on his plate. I mean, to manage that offense, it's challenging coming straight in from high school. I think he's in a better place. He's more confident. He's throwing the ball good. And, the wideouts are catching it. I still think we got a ways to go at wideout to get where we need to go. But Jacob helps those guys out and put the ball in tight spots.
At wideout, Nicole, red jersey today, where is he right now?
This whole McCole vacillation he's really been working with both. He just worked today at wideout, so he was going to be at wideout more, so we opted to put him in a wideout jersey. Where I think the last time you guys were out there, he might have been in a, I don't know what he was in, black, or he was in a defensive color jersey. So he was rotating back and forth. He was able to get more reps at wideout. Jason Stanley was out with a concussion, so we were short at receiver, so we chose to give Nicole some more reps over there.
Coach, maybe we should have saw it coming a little bit more, but Pat Allen getting some reps with the ones. You talked about how you had a good, good winner. I mean, what does that entail? What has he done to kind of get some shots there, get some opportunity?
I think he understands what he's doing better. I think he's more comfortable. He's playing with a physical attitude and a physical demeanor. That's one of the guys I'm talking about. I don't know if we're playing softer up front or we're more physical on the offensive line. I don't know which one that is, because it's hard to tell when you go against yourself all the time. I do know that Pat is getting more movement on some guys than we've gotten in the past at guards. So you got to remember the two guards that are out there right now were not the two guards that were out there last year. Because one of the guards is the center and one of the guards is the right tackle. And Dashawn being at right tackle. So Dashawn is still the guy that's moving around the most, playing a lot of positions, or even repping the guy at center some. So he's able to get a lot of position work. But with Solomon and Pat, let's just say like it is, there's a little more mass at the guard positions, and we'll see if it pays off or not.
How has Lamont been doing as he's transitioned over to center?
He's done well. I mean, it's new for him because there's a lot. It's kind of like being the quarterback of the offensive line. He has to make calls, make decisions. Obviously, Carolina was so great at that because he'd done it for, 100 games it seemed like he'd been playing. And now Lamont's in that role. Well, when you're guard, beside Brandon Cablano, you have to know all those calls too. So it's not like it's completely new to him. But he's done a good job of that. I mean, when we get into third down, there's sometimes he struggles with that. He'll continue to improve. I think Coach Pittman does a good job with those guys.
Sorry. Dashawn seems to be moving around a lot too. Are you guys kind of feeling comfortable with him like it seems like you do with Isaiah, where you feel like you can pretty much plug him anywhere?
Well, I think the only way to get comfortable with him plugging anywhere is to do it everywhere. And there's a theory that he could be a left tackle too. Because if Isaiah wasn't there, who would it be? I think there's a battle going on there for who the two spot is at that position. We haven't done a lot with Isaiah, although you're probably referring to historically. And Isaiah's kind of been the centerpiece at left tackle so far this spring. So we'll continue to move guys around. We want guys to be flexible. The goal, obviously, is to get the best five out there. And you say, what's the best five? Is that pass pro or is that run blocking? Because some guys are better at other things. Pat, has got to grow up and do some things passing off twist that he's just not comfortable. He's never had to do it that fast. When it's Davin and Zoe doing it to you, it's different than the 3s and 4s doing it to you. So it's good that he's getting good work. It's good that Dashawn's getting good work. But, Fogarty's done a good job too. Ben Cleveland's done a good job too. Chris Barnes is starting to show some progress. So I am happy with the growth of those guys. But until it actually produces on the field, that's when we'll know for sure.
Looking ahead a little bit to the spring game, is there a thin line at all in terms of wanting to put on a good show and not wanting to show too much, especially in this area now where all these games except for Vandy's are being televised in the SEC?
Oh yeah, I don't know many people that do everything in a spring game. We'll limit defensively, we'll limit offensively. We're not going to come out there and just do everything, but we're also going to let the quarterbacks play. And like last year, I don't know how many times Jacob threw it, but I don't remember running it ever. So maybe he threw the ball every single play. So there'll be 2-minute situations for Fromm, there'll be 2-minute situations for Jacob, and even Sam will get in there some. They get to throw the ball around and make it exciting and hopefully have a great game. But as far as scheme, we're not going to show everything.
Kirby, what are you looking for with Reggie Carter in your second season with him? He talked about trying to improve quick twitch, which I don't know if that's something how you can put that too much.
Well, I think you can. I think if you ask Coach Sinclair that question, he would tell you can certainly try to and do some explosive movements and do some bands and things like that. We're always trying to improve that. And I think Reggie knows he's really smart, he's really bright, he's really tough, he's really smart. So he knows the areas that are his roadblocks, we call them. So he's trying to improve those roadblocks and be able to play for us. He's very versatile because without Roquan in there, he's able to play all positions. But I'm excited about Reggie because he's a good leader.
You guys added Jamil Walker to your strength program. What does he bring? And then also, when it comes to that group of coaches, how much of it is it guys bouncing ideas off each other, learning different things, or is it more of guys being on the same page with the philosophy?
Yeah, I first of all, I'm super excited about Jamil Walker. He comes in from Wisconsin. He was unbelievable in the interview. He's been a head strength coach there for Coach Alvarez during the bowl season and did a tremendous job. Came very highly recommended, and then during the interview, he kind of blew us away because he's a very intelligent. He relates to the players really well. He was a really good football player. Played against Georgia apparently in a bowl game a while back when Odell Thurman was dumping him a couple times at tailback. But he has done a great job transitioning to our players. He's going to be a huge asset for our program. And I think, just from his interview, hearing some things they do, Coach Sinclair was really impressed. So we may share some of those ideas and do some of the things they've done, which is always great to get a change up for the group.
Speaking of that, I don't think we had a chance to ask you about Jay Johnson. What was the connection and what is his role?
Yeah, well, his connection would probably be traced back to more Sam Pittman. He and Sam had worked together before. I knew him when he was at Southern Miss, but it was only by name, not really knew each other. And then with him he wasn't retained at Minnesota, so we had an opportunity to bring someone in that we thought could generate ideas and help us from an idea standpoint. Whether it's offensively, whether it's me, team practice, how to practice different guys, how to practice different situations. So that was a really good position hire because he's been a really good asset thus far for us from a quality control standpoint, decision making, offensive game planning. I think anytime you're an offensive coordinator and you get assistants that help, it helps. I mean, it's like me with the defense. I'm not the defensive coordinator. I don't call the defenses, but I help Mel with ideas. And they didn't get that person last year that would help with those ideas. And I think bringing new ideas and new energy over there, it helps.
Have you ever been as kind of concerned with a defense as you are with this year's defense at this point in the spring before?
I don't understand. I said it
Sorry. Have you ever been this concerned with a defense at this point in the spring as you are with this year's defense, like in your past coaching career?
Yeah, I think as a coach, you're always concerned. I mean, that's a hypothetical. And I've been around some really unique ones where there was a great defense coming back at Alabama, and maybe they underperformed for the spring, but they stepped up when they had to. Then there's other ones that have been really hungry, and they didn't perform great early in the season because maybe they had the butterflies and nerves. I don't know. This defense has not taken on its true identity yet. And, I don't think they're sensitive to criticism because they get criticized at practice. I can assure you of that. But we're not where we need to be. And the offense is playing more physical than us. I mean, I call it like I see it. So they can watch the tape. They know.
Is that an effort issue, or is it just picking up certain things in practice?
No, it's striking a blow. The offense is striking a blow, a violent blow, and knocking people back, which this game is a tough physical game. And we're not playing tough physical football right now, where they are. And I'm kind of like, well, they're either they're hungrier than us, or our guys just aren't responding to the fact that we're challenging.
Coach, how do you feel about Richard LeCount and D'Angelo at corner right now? I mean, I saw them get a few reps there the other day, and I know you guys are real short there, so I just want to kind of see how you guys feel about them in that spot.
Well, they're not really. They've kind of been a little bit everywhere. Richard's actually working at safety, so he was at corner. Maybe the last time y'all were out there, I don't know, but he's been at safety for 2 days now. He's still continuing to work a little bit at star. D'Angelo's at star. So 70-80% of his reps, but he's still working at corner some. So you say, how do I feel about them? I think it's more, they're in a growing stage, they're in a learning stage. I've got to be more patient with them because I obviously have high expectations for them, and they have high expectations of themselves. But they're not where they need to be yet, so they've got a lot of meeting to do, and we'll continue working with them because I think both of them can be good players.
Tom said something along the lines of already those guys challenging them to be leaders, even though they're only just a few months on campus. Do you do the same thing, or do you kind of let this period grow to that point and then take that on?
You're talking about those two guys being leaders? Yeah, I don't think those two guys are ready. I mean, anybody can be a leader, don't get me wrong. Jake Fromm is a pretty good leader, but those two guys right now, I mean, they're swimming a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. It's going fast, and we practice fast at a high tempo, and they've got guys above them that know what to do. But both of them can run. Both of them can strike a lick. Both of them are competitors, so they're not far away from being able to lead and being able to help on special teams and being able to compete. So I like watching those two guys out there. I love coaching them. I sit by them in the meeting, and I coach them every second because I feel like they have a chance to help our team next year.
How much time would you say Chance Manak is spending between D-line and outside linebackers? He's still working at both of those spots?
Yeah, he's working both. If we were in regular defense playing maybe our offense or LSU's or Arkansas's, he would be an outside backer full time. But as we know, we were 85 to 90% nickel last year. So what are you going to do? You got DeAndre Walker, Davin Bellamy, Lorenzo, all those guys are playing some defensive end spots. So our thought is, this guy's a disruptive, active, hard to block, does not know what to do all the time, but he causes problems for the other team. So we're trying to find a role to help get us some more speed on the field. Less than 300 pounders, more 260, 270 pounders. And so he's splitting. I mean, we try to say, hey, let's give him 75% reps inside and 25% reps outside.
Who do you feel like the toughest player is on the team right now?
Man, that's a good question. I think if I had to vote for that, I don't want to single anybody out with that. I'll say this though, there's a couple of those offensive linemen that are some tough dudes. I think I would say a couple of offensive linemen or a couple of defensive linemen without saying their names, just because those guys take every reps. They don't complain about what pads are in, and they headbutt a lot.
One more.
Mentioned Ben Cleveland a while ago making progress, specifically kind of what did you get better doing?
Well, we probably were unfair to Ben early on because we've asked Ben to play guard and tackle. Again, trying to see where he's going to best fit. After week 1, we came back and said, let's let him have a week just tackle. He had a better week. So this is the start of week 3 at just tackle. So we want to see where that takes us. Because he provides a little different element at that right tackle position. There's a big man. It's a mountain of a man. We want to get some movement, some run blocking, and you look at Dashawn and him, they both are good in their own rights, but they're different. So it gives us a little different flavor there. We want him to go in there and compete. And he'll continue to move around, just not right now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.